Where you at, Berto?
The House released the Epstein files. This is a little bit of a different type of content, but everybody's been talking about this, so I wanted to get an update on situations so I know what's going on. Let's get right into it and see what the deal is.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally getting the Epstein files. Donald Jamarcus Trump has decided with his true power to force everybody to release them, despite the fact that before he said, I don't want these files released as a hoax. If you guys want your hoax, I give it to you, but know what you've done. He was trying to guilt trip me into being angry that the files are getting released. He said, you guys want this hoax? I said, hoax? It's just files. What's going on? I was confused. Now, if you squint, you can see the whole sad, predictable opera laid out in what I call 3 acts. To me, it's a story as old as power itself. The man who believes his own myth. He's over here saying, I'm Galileo. I am Achilles. Stand on a pedestal he insists is a mountain, shouting into the hurricane of his own making. I remember when he first was running, he said, we are gonna get these predators locked up. Like this crazy. Aliens and predators all gone. No movie franchise. I'm done with it. I remember Donald Trump was like, yeah, Trump, go ahead, go crazy. I don't like it that much, but you know, this is a bipartisan issue. I agree with this. This is news we can all coagulate with. We can all have this doing good. This is gonna be fun for all of us. Then he said, well, I don't really want the files released because Democrats want them released so bad. You guys hate Democrats, right? No, this is completely different. If this was the border or food stamps, you know, your base will be with you. The MAGA people be like, yeah, 100%, but this is about children. You have messed up. You shouldn't have brought this up. You shouldn't have done that. And for weeks, he stood there, a statue of indignant innocence, buffeted by the gathering winds. The Epstein files were a looming revelation. They were I can't believe he kept calling it a Democrat hoax. It was a witch hunt. A nothing burger. Come on, guys. You guys don't really want the files released. What do you guys really want? The files released. But what do you really want? The files released. You don't want $2,000? Huh? $2,000 is nice. I do appreciate that, Donald Trump. And your tariffs are amazing, and you have a tremendous penis. But I just want to...
Yo. Crazy glaze.
But you know, we do need those files released. He's like, brr, 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 brr. He was upset. He painted himself as this besieged king, too noble to even acknowledge the rabble at the gates. We don't want this release. Come on. He declared this like a man refusing to look at a medical scan. I don't got AIDS. It's ridiculous. I've only slept with 2 people. It says 2,000 here. It's nothing. Nothing. He believes that if he ignores the tumor, can't be real. He tried to seal the basement door. He pretended to pretend to faint. Foul odor was just the swamp gas. That's what he felt like. That's what it was. He's always complained about small things and things of that variety, but the basement, it was flooding. It was flooding with ink. The ink of court documents, of survivor testimonies, of a public curiosity curdling into a man. And you cannot command a stench to dissipate. You can't do that. He realized that. He went to the wave. This is a thing I learned from Vinland Saga. I believe it was Prince Canute. He said, stop waves. The waves didn't stop. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. You can only pretend you don't smell it for so long. He tried the oldest trick in the Rhetorical sleight of hand book.
Yo, real quick, if you like making money, I need you to watch this part of the video. If you don't like making money, then go ahead and skip it, but that really should be none of y'all. I know you guys have been seeing me promote this new app called Free Cash, and the big talk of the town is
this a scam, Berto? What is this?
Well, look at this guy and this guy. All people from our community that are making money through the Free Cash app. The link is in the description. Even one person from my boy Astro Dior's community made $1,000 using the Free Cash app. I know it sounds crazy, but yes, you can make free money while playing games on your phone. But let me break this down in a very clear way for you guys so you know exactly what's going on. When you sign up for Free Cash using the link in my description, once you're in, you're gonna see a list of games pop up. You download them, you play them, you beat the levels, get to the certain requirements that they tell you to hit. And once you get there, you're gonna get some credits sent to your account. Every single time you hit the requirements, you get paid real money. And they make the process so easy that you can cash out that money into your PayPal or even gift cards. And yes, it is completely free to use. Now, there are some options where you can spend a little cheese to get through the level faster, but you don't need to do that. The reason why this is even possible is because these games are trying to get new players onto their platform. So they pay free cash to pay you to get people to play the game. Now, I know I showed you a crazy example of somebody making up to $1,000, which it's possible, but realistically, it might take some time. This is just an easy way you can make an extra 10, maybe 20 bucks, just doing something that you guys probably do for free anyway. So if you're gonna be bullshitting on your phone playing games, why not get paid? So if you've been on the fence, this is your sign. Click the link in my description and try out a few games. And when you make your money, take a screenshot and send it to me, bro, because I want to see y'all make that cheese. Because if I'm winning, I want to make sure y'all winning too. I love y'all. Y'all know what to do. Link in the description, and you're gonna get a $5 bonus using my shit. Now let's get right back to the video. Where you at, family?
He said, this is not Democrat versus Republican. This is the people versus the swamp, the deep state. I said, okay, cool, 100%. I don't know why he said it. We know this already. We got it. We understood that. That was not new information to any of us. It was this desperate attempt to build a new stage to cast himself as the hero in a play where the villains were faceless and the lines were clean. However, the audience already read the program. We already read the brochure. We looked through everything and said, yeah, we already know who we grasped it. We know what's going on. The camps were dug, the trenches were set, every delayed hearing, every statement from his allies, we'll see later. Don't worry. We'll do this later. Don't worry about this. It was a flare illuminating the partisan battlefield he claimed didn't exist. The performance was transparent. The paint was thin. He was a magician insisting there was no rabbit, while the entire theater could see the furry ears poking out from underneath his hat. So that was the first act. I like to call that the pedestal and the pretense. Let's talk about act 2. So his pedestal began to wobble. The secret sauce, the Krabby Patty formula of politics, the cold hard numbers of approval ratings, well, that began to sour. The floor, which he believed was solid marble or gold like his new ballroom, was revealing to be boards. Just boards. It's nothing. The public outrage, the relentless voices of survivors, the journalists picking at the seams of the narrative, him calling a woman a piggy. It was crazy. It was nice. They said, silence, piggy.
One thing about Trump, bruh, love him or hate him, that brother is entertaining.
Well, that's crazy. It's nuts. It all became a pressure he could no longer deflect. He was cornered, not by principle, no. He was cornered by optics. And so, he pivoted. That's what he did. The grand, graceless, inevitable reversal. After months of dragging his feet on this, of rhetorical foot dragging and procedural obstruction, the message flipped. He said, okay, all right, sign it. I'll sign it, whatever. I'll sign it. Now, if it comes to my desk, I'll sign it. The man who didn't want the elevator to the basement suddenly found the stairs and practically sprinted down them.
But that only makes me feel like at that point, he had to get them altered. Why do you procrastinate something for so long and then finally be like, okay, fuck it, I'll do it? He probably got them hoes altered, bruh. That's got to be the answer.
The pressure had become too real. The political calculus too dire.
Because I refuse to believe while he's the president of the United States that he would allow negative press like that to come out on him. Something like that. Something as crazy as, the whole Epstein situation. He wouldn't allow that to come out. So the only way is probably he stalled long enough to where he was able to sweep certain things under the rug, get it gone.
He was no longer steering the ship. He was a passenger.
Or at least that's my conspiracy theory.
What he'd been the captain all along. And he's not. And then enter the supporting cast. Oh, this is the best part. Mike Johnson, the speaker, background manager, he came up and said, okay, I guess. He played the part of the cautious bureaucrat, the reasonable adult. He spoke of edits, of sanitation, of protecting the innocent, redacting the irrelevant. He said, we got to polish this up, clean it up, make it presentable, and make sure everybody gets their version of the truth. What? No, dummy. I want to see the whole files. No, we gotta edit this. And he was pissed. He's walking out. He was saying, man, you guys don't want to see what's in these files. Yeah, we do actually, because we heard it's bad. Well, we tried to edit it for you. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't care what you tried to do. You tried to take out things you thought were irrelevant. You need to show us everything. Well, just know we warned you. Don't try to make me feel bad. You're still trying to make me
gaslighting us.
Feel bad for wanting the truth. This is crazy. And this is the truth you could take to a dinner party. I don't want that. The House, feeling the heat from the public furnace, voted, and I'll never forget this, 427 to 1. Now you may be asking yourself, who is the one person? Who is the one person? Who is this one single cell organism? Who was this? Who didn't want the raw, unvarnished sawdust to come away? Who did that?
Oh,
Clay Higgins. This guy right here. This man, Clay Higgins. This is Clay Higgins.
He must have been on that island.
I'll never forget this man.
He must have been
Clay
on that
Higgins.
island.
The lone no vote, a solitary figure holding a line in the sand at a tsunami of bipartisanism. Everybody agree on this issue. His reasoning, I love his reasoning so much. He said, I'm protecting thousands of innocent people, witnesses, and family members.
Yeah, he must have been one of the thousands.
Shut the hell up. He stood as the sentinel of a different kind of fortress. That was weird as hell. I don't know why he was doing that. It was stupid. He was the one man willing to be the asterisk in a landslide. That's not strength or courage. That's stupid. That's a dummy. It's Clay Higgins. I want you to remember that. Clay Higgins. I want you to remember it as a tune so you never forget his name. Clay Higgins. Clay Higgins. What? Clay.
All right, bro, you're doing a lot. What's going on, man? Just get to the point.
Forget that Clay Higgins, he did this. He's the one. I'm so excited right now. I hate this man. He's worse than Mike Johnson. Johnson, Clay Higgins, and Donald Trump, all three same person to me. Just like the trifecta, like the Lord, the Holy Spirit, the Ghost, all that. That's what they is. He is all things. Most people think Donald Trump is God, so I'm using that as a thing for any MAGA people that might stumble across this video. So there goes that for you. Now we're here. Everything's falling apart. The narrative Trump so carefully constructed, the nonpartisan crusade, the disinterested leader, the man who didn't want the release, well, it fell apart. Completely fell apart. Like it was cardboard and rain. It's crazy. The bill passed with near unanimity. Is it unanimous? Unanimity? Is unanimity a word? Someone tell me if unanimity is a word. I think that's a word. His claim of Democrat hoax was hollowed out. He was forced to embrace the very thing he scorned, cloaking his surrender in the language of strength. We have nothing to hide. You just don't want to say you lost, dude. It's okay. It's fine. It would show. I would love just once if Trump said, I messed up. Wouldn't that be great? What changed wasn't his innocence. It was the temperature of the room. It was getting too hot to handle. My brother, he wasn't drinking the poison willingly. The cup had been forced to his lips. I think the deeper, more philosophical thunderclap here is this. When a man insists with maximum volume, I'm not worried about this. He is often terrified of it. When he frames an inquiry as a hoax, he's often trying to shatter the mirror before it can reflect his own image back at him.
Damn. Oh. Might need to write that down, man.
Trump's public posture was dismissive, defiant, unyielding granite. But power without legitimacy is brittle. A man with a crumbling approval rating is a king with a paper crown. Disgusting. The final cathartic twist to me about this whole thing is not a clean victory. I don't want anything clean with this. I want a messy unveiling. Because we now have the files. I don't want the Johnson edited version, not the version Trump wanted to ignore. We have the raw, chaotic, imperfect, the unredacted truth. Or as much as the law will allow. I don't know. The lone no vote by Clay Higgins stands as a monument to dissent. But it is a small monument in a vast field of agreement. Don't read that one negative comment is what I'm saying. He didn't win this, guys. Please remember he surrendered to it. The world didn't give him a choice. And now, we all get to stand. And the witnesses, man. The basement door is open, and the house will never smell the same again. Very excited about this. Very excited. So when the files do get released, I will be reading them in full and seeing all this stuff and seeing what happens in the files. And I'd like to figure out all that stuff. He has to go to this desk. He has to sign it, and we're all set. Unless he just does a 180 and says, I don't want these files. You got to edit them. That'd be hilarious. God, I'll make a video about that immediately. But thank you so much for checking out this video.
Word, man. Well, again, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not a very political person, but I do know, slightly about the Epstein stuff and how disgusting of a human being he was and what was going on. So it caught my interest. I've heard that Trump is potentially tied into this stuff. So, it piqued my interest. It was interesting to get, an update on the whole situation. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Definitely want to know what's going on, because regardless of where your interests lie, to not be knowledgeable in what's going on in the world to no degree is crazy, right? We all living in the United States. Well, not all of us. Maybe some of y'all watching this are not U.S. citizens, but these are the people that are running the country. So you do need to kind of have an understanding of what's going on. So anyways, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And these Epstein files are on the way, man. Are we tapping in? Of course we are. We're gonna see what's going on.
Where you at, Berto?